Yeah, they take a little bit of breaking. That's one thing I did notice about the other ones. They take a little bit of getting broken into, but once I sweated into them a couple good times, it was okay. But that's what I was worried about, is being able to find the gear shifter, but that don't seem to be a problem. Even though lifting up just feels, I can't feel it. I'm not having a, I thought I was going to have a problem getting my foot underneath the thing. Oh, and of course a bug just flew right into my damn open helmet. Might have a good time trying to get him out of here. Hopefully.
It's always terrifying watching it, like it's pulling it close to your eye.
Yeah. Oh, this road, they've torn this road up. They need to do more than a little patch.
Yeah, right?
Bike's filthy. I just guess European guys just don't have any calf muscles. That's why they build boots like that. Got to get all the kinks worked out before the real riding season. I think I feel a little bit of wind. Yeah, there's a little bit of wind coming in there. Not much. I love the looks of the gloves, though. Hey, I got the off-road bike. Can I go through there? No. If I hit that bump just right, I can, like...
Yeah, I don't think you can quite not the current speed they're going.
Nah. My current abilities as well. Also be a good chance to see if, like, where I put the internal microphone, if I hear you better. I should be able to hear you better. It's just nice being off in the middle of the week. I like being off in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of forget that too at times. Like, oh yeah, today's Sunday. No, it's actually Thursday. But my Sunday, so I enjoy it. I think you should go ahead and get that bigger screen regardless. You should be able to sell anything you got for that. You should be able to sell pretty easily. Extremely popular. Yeah, extremely popular bike.
Yeah, this screen I got was for temporary measures, so I can slide it until I found something better.
Right. Yeah, eventually I'm gonna do a video about why that bike makes sense, you know, and because I see a lot of people, good review, bad, you know, some people are just gonna say bad shit to be saying bad shit, but not once have I heard anybody bring up the physical disability thing that actually had the physical disability thing that, you know, you need that bike.
Yeah. No one's ever given me shit for it because I'm a girl and I have boobs. If I was a guy, people would be giving me shit.
From a guy's standpoint, from a guy who's had Japanese motorcycles or rode around a bunch of Harley guys and shit, I just see that as being something fucking weak. You know, like, I don't mind a little shit talking and stuff like that, but I don't do the superiority complex either. You think your shit's better than mine? Let's put them out there and find out.
Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is. That usually shuts them up pretty goddamn quick. You know, like that bike there, that bike is going to really hurt Harley Davidson in sales for women. It really is. I mean, probably if a guy's got balls and a little bit of brains, it's going to hurt them there too. I mean, there's some people, I don't mind somebody being loyal to a brand because, you know, hey, that's what my daddy rode, that's what all his friends rode, that's what I always dreamed of having. I get that. I'm totally behind that. You know, that's a whole second kind of cool type of thing. If it's, you know, if it just turns you on, it just turns you on. But functionality wise, it's a little bit different.
It blows totally out of the water. It's light, nimble, good around turns.
Yeah.
And the automatic feature, yeah, for disabled people, 100%. But there are a lot of girls that don't like it.
Well, a lot of women end up getting a Harley Davidson too, because most women are kind of short, and manufacturers really miss the boat on that, because if they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get a cruiser, well, I might as well go get the Harley and make my old man happy, or they can get that bike and smoke his ass.
Yeah.
There's not too many Harleys gonna keep up with that bike. That bike gives this bike a hard time. You know, this is a little bit more torque and stuff like that. You know, it's different bike, granted, but even this factory lowered GS is still taller than that bike.
I still have an engine governor on this thing. There's just no reason to be going that fast.
Yeah, No, we all have our moments of weakness, though. I've never hit it on this bike. Like, trying to drive for a living and stuff like that. Like, every time I see 3 digits, I'm like, yeah, there goes the house, the car, the bike. It's gonna be a beach bum at that point, be a beggar. It ain't worth it. But I enjoy just riding like this. I don't mind getting on it. I put around, like, still one of my favorite rides I ever did. Probably the 2 most memorable rides I've ever had. One was me and Dana when we rode that 500 miles in a day and went up Tail of the Dragon, came back through Tennessee and all that. That was amazing. And then that day me and you went out to Pilot Mountain and just rode back. We rode all the way out there and rode all the way back. We didn't pass a single car. Nobody passed us. We weren't in nobody's way. Just in our bullshitting the whole fucking time. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like riding with you. There's only a handful of people I can trust to ride with. Just like, even if we're going down the road in a semi, there's only a handful of people I trust, and I'm a guy who trains people now, so it doesn't mean I trust them, but I'll deal with it. I'm really digging the gloves. I think the boots with a little bit of break-in are going to be just fine. Like, I just got to get used to the feel when I'm coming to a stop. Yeah, a little break-in, that'd be awesome. But I'm gonna have to do something about the jacket to keep these gloves. Like, I'll keep that. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll keep that jacket and those gloves, and I'll buy gloves that'll fit that jacket. Like next time I get, because I'm gonna commute with that bike, I'll just do that. The only bad thing about these particular boots, if I wear the riding jeans got to get tucked on the inside.
Yeah.
And which on a guy it's kind of like, hey, you know what, fuck them. I'll just say, hey, you like my hooker boots? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Because I actually need, like, I'm sitting there feeling like all my shin and stuff, like, I'm like, you know what, some type of undergarment or something like that where my socks don't go would be a little bit on the nice side. But yeah, I mean, I'm starting to feel the gear shifter and figure out how to move my feet. I gotta actually pick up my foot a little bit to jump on the brake. I can't just like twist my heel,
Yeah.
But yeah, they're working. I think with some break-in they might just be just fine. If I keep them, the one of the things I gotta buy is the replacement buckles, because those buckles do break after a while. So that's really what I want to do this ride for, was just to get out here on one of these bullshit roads and practice moving my feet around on stuff and see how it's going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gloves are great. And I like the high vis. I don't care. I'm getting more and more to the high vis. Get the whatever chance I got of getting the peoples to see me.
Your helmet does a good job. White helmet's not the way to go for.
Yeah.
My black helmet, I think I blend in a little bit.
You do. You're not fully blobbed out though. That does happen when everybody does everything completely black. There's nothing that stands out. But that's a sharp helmet though. I really like that. I really like that helmet. That flat black naked dark look. It's just awesome. But as long as you're wearing something like, I've been looking at those airbag vests. The ones that you got to hook a thing to your handlebars, and if you come off the bike, it explodes. They're real high vis. They do make a black one, but I'm like, no, if I buy that, I'm definitely going to get a high vis one, and then it won't matter what everything else looks like.
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit about matching anyway. And that train is left, as far as I'm concerned. Fashion statements are over. One thing I am enjoying about these boots, the other ones I got, if I don't hit the right exact spot with that little shift lever patch, it's like I'm lifting straight with my toe, and that shit hurts.
Yeah. I got that on my previous thing.
Yeah. I'll wear you down quick. I'm amazed on how much more comfortable you are on that bike. Like, when you had that Vulcan, I would sit there and just kind of do like this and run away from you, and now look in the mirror and you're like right there.
It's a lot more nimble around curves than that Vulcan. I don't think it's a deep suspension or just a very slightly longer wheelbase.
The only thing that bike really they missed on, as far as I'm concerned, is the fuel tank size. Like, yeah, that's definitely a touring motorcycle. It's definitely designed for it.
I did like the handlebar risers.
go. I'd do it. Because you gotta sit on the bike and envision it in your head. Okay, well, if I raise it up, that's gonna be less forward you're gonna be, and being that the gooseneck is kind of angled back to begin with, it's going to bring you back closer. You may not have to tilt them at all.
Yeah.
But I would definitely do it. That, no question. I would definitely do that. I mean, I could tilt the handlebars back. I don't know the torque specs on those, but it shouldn't be too hard to find them. But I would definitely do that, though. I'd put those on there. I like those SW Motec bikes too. Those weren't bad. It doesn't look much different from what Honda's putting out from the factory anyway. So
yeah.
I always kind of hate this turn because you got that little hill right there. You just can't see what's coming. But I think we're good. Well, I'm good. Yeah, you're good. God, it's a torquey little fucker. You missed that shift just right, and you're torque monster. Yeah, and there he is, right in the mirror. Go out here and see the bull. That scares the shit out of me every time I see it. The bull, yeah. Every single time I say, like, there's a cow gearing come out in the road. I'm about to blur that out a little bit, probably. Oh well. This road, though, I had a lot of problems with it last year. Every time I come out here, they out here cutting grass clippings and be just all over the place. Like every old person out here cutting their fucking arm, blowing it right out in the fucking road. Oh, this bike is a lot more fun to ride than the bagger is, though. But the bagger is working out great for what I'm using it for now. There's a car coming up behind you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I seen a car back there, but weird that he went this way. I mean, hell, we're sitting there running over him, and he's just sitting there right with us. Mayo River. Oh, the river's up a little bit. But I do catch a lot more wind on this bike. I just easily tell it, like, yep. I just don't, like, I could put the extension on the windshield, and I've thought about it, but I kind of don't want to. I don't like how, I kind of like it looks, you know. But, you know, first cool, second cool. Looks versus function. You're going to suffer somewhere. Pick one. Yeah, I can get used to these boots. I think there's some leather stuff on them. Get the heels smoothed down a little bit, because that's probably the biggest problem. This bike's got a lot of grip on the foot pegs. It's made to be in the mud. These boots are made to be in the mud, so it's giving me a lot of grip, and I'm just having a hard time just shifting my foot over. But after I get broken in a little bit, yeah, they're gonna be cool. You know, it's gonna be fucked up. I'm gonna get used to this fucking cow out here, and then one day it's actually gonna be a cow, and I'll be like, oh, that's that statue. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Well, you either battle out on the highway, you're going to battle the wildlife or the people, and I'll take the wildlife because at least they're just a touch more predictable. Yeah. And then when something does happen, when, I'll just go, well, you know, the animal didn't know any better when the person did. Next year I'll have to put tires on this bike. I'm going to find something. I don't think I'm going to stick with these dual sport type tires, you know, the treads. I'll get something a little bit more street oriented because, let's face it, I'm not going off road. I ain't got time for that shit. Watch this gravel. Probably pissing that. It's over. Yeah, it's over here too. Oh yeah, you get on these side little narrow roads, there's shit everywhere. They'd be like, great. People would run off the road and bring gravel out everywhere. You know, that'd be a lot of fun on a motorcycle, but you'd have to go through with a sweeper first and hope nobody else went through, because they cannot handle that shit. Like, you really, with this bike, you really don't need a sport bike, man. You just don't. Like, it works the same way. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love me some sport bike, but this bike just eat up a curve, especially at the speeds we're going to run. You're good. Come on. All right, was wondering about that house right there. It's almost on the edge of creepy. Like, is that haunted? I just want to go knock it. Is your house haunted? I'm betting it's haunted. Yeah, this glow's gonna break in quick. Me and Alpine Stars, man, it's either a hit or a miss, and usually it's a miss. Damn, that power line is low. Could you imagine cutting that grass? You have to watch that shit. You go in there with your fucking John Deere, fuck shit all up. Get decapitated by a power line, and that would suck. Seems like we hear each other pretty good. About 55 is like the breaking point, though.
Yeah. Do you hear me really good, or do I kind of go off sometimes?
No, I generally hear you pretty good. Like, I can hear the wind cracking, you know, coming underneath your chin shield and stuff a little bit, but I hear you. You know, especially when you're talking loud. Sometimes it's like you're not, like, you think you're loud, but you're not. You know?
Yeah.
So, usually about mid-ride, halfway through a long ride, you're just like, you get really quiet. That's why I start saying, huh, what? Once that ass starts a hurting, it's like, yeah, don't give a fuck. Ooh, a little crosswind right there. A little more.
Is there any past the cow?
No, he's up here. I've yet to come through it and not see it. It's usually about the time you start going past all the farm fields, which we ain't quite got there yet. There it is. That motherfucker has scared the hell out of me so many times. Give him a little. Oh shit. That thing's falling down. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stand underneath that.
I feel like that kind of happens when there's not a real accessible book.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody built that pavilion for a reason and they don't use it for that anymore. Now it's shifting over. If you put a bunch of cross members in there, it would stop that from happening. So I'd go to it with the pickup truck, hook to it, pull it back up straight, nail down some cross members, then unhook it from the truck.
Yeah.
Ooh, might want to slow down there. I didn't realize we just hit 35. Yeah, some braking, they're going to be fine. I'm getting a little bit more flex out of them already. But it's like things, you can't sit there in the garage and figure it out. You got to get on the bike. That's probably one of those schools you go in there and try to do some bullshit. All the teachers got guns. They'll fuck your shit up.
No doubt.
Good for them. This thing needs to be tore the fuck down. That thing's a fucking hazard to be near. I'm surprised they don't put floorboards on that bike to begin with. If you're gonna make it automatic, why not?
Yeah, right.
I bet there's a limb on the ground right there. Yep. Let's come back and get that shit. I'm obsessed. I will have it. Did I close that garage door when we left? Or you did?
I did.
Yeah. Brianna's going into them fuckers. Yeah. It's coming through last year, man. I swear, I was like, oh man, it's a deer getting ready to walk out in front of me. I was the way it was coming over the hills. I was a fucking hound dog. Now the Cardo actually hooked to the GoPro, and you don't need any of that shit. You just use the Cardo microphone. A lot of people, there's a big debate online between the Cardos and the Cenas. I'm like, well, I got the Cenas, that's what we got. When they die, hopefully if they die at the same time, then I'll worry about it. But
I think mine's a little newer than yours. So.
Yeah. Well, I can still get the outside set. The problem is you can't get the bell helmet that just fits it anymore. You got to do the clamp on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are they never fix it again for me.
Yeah.
I guess it would be tiny.
Yeah, they Universal try to make one thing to fit everything. It just doesn't work out. You're saying it to the guy with the Charlie Brown head. That is the downside to the camera. They can pull that shit. That's That's why I want to edit it, get it up with my computer, and upload it and delete it. Whee! And damn it, she's right there. A year ago, she'd have been back there. I can remember she's right fucking there. Apparently, that Honda Rebel is very inspiring, like confidence inspiring. I don't blame you. I think it's a cool bike. You put that front cowl on there, though, it's a fucking Honda Davidson. It really is. It looks like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, fuck them. But I see some benefits in that front cowl. I don't like the windshield. Windshield definitely needs to be higher, but all that wind breaking off your hands, that would be nice.
I think they have like this separate hand stuff.
Yeah, you can get these things probably. The things I got on this,
Yeah.
the bark busters, they probably make them for that bike. That's what those are called. Like, well, these are the plastic version that BMW gives you, but they make one that's got a metal band that goes on the outside. It's made to go on the exactly fit on the outside of this. Those are true bark busters, you know. For the guys that's going through the woods, 'cause they're all hardcore like that.
What's up with the cows that come for this bike is it comes with a windshield attached and it's just noticeable.
Yeah.
I'm just too little and have no other body muscles, so when the wind hits me, I just need to fuck up.
Yeah, well, they should have made that where it's higher anyway. Could you imagine if they took that bike and they made it like or like truly made a mini Goldwing out of it? Like put the electric windshield on it.
They should have.
Yeah, they should.
Bigger fuel tank.
Yeah, you know, like that bike would sell. Like, I mean, it's already selling good, but that bike would really sell. If Honda's missing a boat on anything, that's what they need to do. Put a 5-gallon tank on that fucker and put an electric windshield on it and just a mini Goldwing. Cause
There's a lot of us really, really short people that would love to have a Goldwing when you reach the ground.
yeah, well, then it's an 800-pound bike.
Yeah.
You gotta have a lot of thigh and some height to you to even kick that over, which the Goldwing's easier to get on the stand than that K1600B I got is. Like, that's the one complaint I really have about that bike is, you know, stopped, low speed, like crawling around something. That fucker's top heavy as hell. You got to really concentrate on that shit. That's where the Honda kicks his ass. But now you're talking about making a bike half the size, half the weight, and well, just a little bit over half. But you get what I'm saying. Like that bike you're on now, if it had 60 more pounds on there, it wouldn't bother you. You know, you'd be like, yeah, okay, well, I got all this extra stuff, so yeah, it's a little heavy, but the parallel wind's gonna keep it lower anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if this bike goes over on its side, I'm still going to need some stuff to pick it up. I just may not have muscle mass along with that my pushing is.
Yeah.
So really, if there's more extra pounds there.
Yeah, it ain't gonna make much of a difference. Besides, them bikes don't go that far over anyway. You know. But damn, but yeah, I think Honda would sell the immortal shit out of that. Maybe the reason they don't do it is like, yeah, how we're gonna sell Goldwings. Yeah, but I mean, then again, you look at those bikes. When you get in that was something I was looking at when I was looking at getting that bike that we could both be on. Was, you know, Yamaha does X amount of the FJRs, the 1300s. Kawasaki was doing X amount of the concourses. Because they don't sell many of those bikes a year, but they sold enough to keep it relevant. And that's one of those bikes too, man. If I could fit any fucking motorcycle I wanted to, the Yamaha FJR would be sitting in the garage. That one out of all those bikes was my favorite. But when I'm thinking about like doubling up on somebody and something like that, it's hard enough for me just to touch it around on my own. That just wasn't going to work. But that inline 4 on that bike, man, God, I bet you once you get that bike going, it's just awesome. And guys that have them, they generally don't sell them. They keep them. They're really, really good. You know, it's 100,000 mile bike easily, no problem. But that was always that's my like. My great well is going to be that bike. Like I just can't. They just don't make it quite for me. Like, and that dude that was out there at that Yamaha dealer when we was looking at this bike, he was like, he done found me a little bit lower seat and, you know, flat floorboards for you and all this other shit. He was really trying hard. Yeah, probably this time next year. The way they're going. I mean, they took it down like a champ. Hopefully they're smart and they raise it, make it higher.
Yeah, otherwise they're just going to be doing the same thing in another 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to get used to that. Just a little bit on the brake pedal because by the time I find I'm pushing on it, I'm already pushing more than what I would have wanted to.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're going to be fine. It'll work. Cool. I'm happy for once. With something that says Alpine Stars on it. Oh my shot. Write it down. It's a miracle. I mean, I love their double stitchings and all that other shit they do though, man. It's pretty good quality. I mean, it ain't no clean, but fuck. Oh yeah? Yeah, I was just gonna run on down to the exit. I didn't even think about it. That's a pretty tough U-turn. Go you. Right time of the day, yeah, you do that, but that's doing a U-turn on an angled heel too. That's pretty, you know, that takes a little bit of concentration. Just knocked it out, like damn, girl's gonna outdo me. Yeah, that's the only thing is I got to get a little bit used to that. Those boots are just a little bit wider. It won't take long. Stop good. Yeah, pretty good. Come on. You want to go through town or you just want to go back up? Alright. Get the lower wind.